Are you on, Nadia? So you are on.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just waiting for Matt.
Okay, I didn't. I see you are on. Okay, all right. So you've got the host thing. So then that's fine.
Yes, that's perfect.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Well, we'll just wait for him. I did say sort of 8 minutes before, so he'll probably come on now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, Matt.
Hello, you okay?
Yes, good, thank you. Let me just start my video. I'm just going to make you host quickly. If you have your presentation, do you just want to double check if it logs on?
No worries, just right now.
Let me just make you host though. There we go. Oh, there's Ange.
Well, that's fun.
It's fine, carry on.
No, you carry on, Nadia. Morning, Matt. I'm Angela, and that's Nadia.
Hi, nice to meet you guys. You okay?
Yes, we
Good,
got you up
thanks.
very early this morning.
Yeah, things we do for our friends, eh?
South Africa.
Here we go. So, can you see the screen? Is it coming up?
Yes, it is.
Okay, perfect. Do you want to? Do we wait until?
We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait.
Yeah.
A few more people come in, and yeah, no worries.
Yeah. Nadia will come back to you in about 5 minutes or so. We just wanted to double check that it was working, so we'll let you know when to go. Nad, so you'll let him know.
Yeah, no problem.
What's the weather like there, Matt? Is it pretty damn cold?
It is. It's started to turn cold again. The last 2-3 weeks, we've had a nice, clear, dry spell, and now it's getting cold and wet again. And apparently, there's going to be snow.
Oh wow! Oh gosh, which are you in London itself or
Just near down south, so near in between London and Brighton.
okay?
So,
Okay,
yeah,
awesome.
but yeah, it's nice little suburb. Yeah, it takes me about 50 minutes to get to London, 40 minutes to get to Brighton. You've got like nice areas of natural beauty around us as well. So suburbs,
Nice.
very family friendly. So.
Okay, good. Okay.
Not the hustle and bustle of Joburg or Cape
or Joburg. Yeah. Indeed. Okay, I see there's still quite a lot of people logging on, so we'll wait.
And you guys, what's the weather like there? Hot?
Yes, nice and hot. Yeah, I know we've got some lovely hot weather. We have had a lot of rain, but no, the weather's actually lovely at the moment.
Nice, that's good.
Yeah, 29 and 30 degrees, so nice and warm.
Oh, don't you make me jealous. When are you heading out to Thailand? Anytime soon?
No, not that I'm aware of, sadly. I'm not sure if Tosh is, I don't know, Tosh, are you on Tosh? Maybe she's going sometime soon, but no, I'm not.
Hi, Matt. How are you?
Hey,
Hi, guys.
how are you? I'm okay. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. No, it's in the pipeline. Probably maybe in May, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well,
We'll
are
see
you
how
gonna
it
go?
goes.
Are you gonna do TTM?
Yes, definitely. I will. Yeah.
Perfect. Brilliant. How are you, Toshi? Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm fine, Matt. It's just very busy this side, but well, thanks. And you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. You just a quick question. In January, February, is that your busiest time of year for bookings, or do you have a different time of year?
To be honest, it's busy all year round, hey. Yeah, no, January is busy, but yeah, it's busy all year round. Yes.
Because here in the UK, January and February are historically the best 2 months of the whole year. So I was just curious to know if it was the same for you guys.
So from my side, it's our biggest quoting month. January is huge. After the holidays, we get a huge quoting month. But
Yeah.
we did find this year that a lot of it did convert. So we actually had a really good January, which was great. And the trend has continued, luckily, for February. So, but generally, it is pretty much year round. But yeah, it started off good. So let's hope it continues. Long may it last.
That's good to hear. Good to hear.
I think for Thailand, what's also exciting is that the airfares, there's a lot more airfares available, a lot more capacity.
Good,
So
yeah.
last year the flights were really totally unaffordable.
Yeah.
So some can still be expensive, but there is the option to look around a little bit more. So that, I think, for us makes the destination a little bit more attractive.
Perfect. Well, that's a similar scenario to the UK market. They've the price point obviously has got higher. The capacities obviously was lower, but it's increased. So it seems like the trend's happening
Worldwide.
Yeah, around the world. So it's starting to pick up again. So, but yeah, I think we're starting to see a lot more business come in for 2023. I've even seen bookings come in for 2024, and I also saw one for 2025.
Wow. Okay. Sure.
Which
That's really planning ahead.
Which I don't think will come about. It'll get cancelled and then they'll just rebook another time. It just doesn't really. People don't really do that, really. But yeah,
no, unless it's really a big group or something like that. But yeah, no.
It's definitely, people are definitely planning.
Yeah, no, that's good. Okay, Nadia, you can introduce yourself and Matt, and we can go from there.
Perfect.
Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay, cool. I don't know if you can see me. Hope you can.
We can.
Okay, perfect. So welcome everyone to our Thailand training. Thank you for joining us. We know everyone is super busy. We do have Matt all the way from the UK who is going to share with us his knowledge on Paradise Koh Yao and Treehouse Villas in Koh Yao. And yeah, that's about it. So Matt, you can take it away.
Perfect. Hi guys, good to see you all. The way I kind of do my training is just go through about the key features, and if you've got any questions as and when I go through the presentation, just feel free to shout them out whilst we're talking, or if you want to hold back at the end of it, then ask me then. But it's to be a bit more interactive, be a bit more involved in it if you want to be, so we don't get bored and fall to sleep quite quickly. So just do what you want to do and speak to me as and when you feel you've got any questions that need answering. But hopefully I will cover most of your questions during the presentation. So, but yeah, so first of all, like I'm Matt, I'm based in the UK. I look after the sales and marketing for Treehouse Villas and Paradise Koh Yao. So I'll just be touching base on both properties during the presentation. So I'll talk about one property first, then talk about the second one, and then I'll talk about the facilities at each resort, and then highlight which ones are combined, because the hotels, the resorts are next door to each other. So There's a lot of shared facilities that can be discussed as a group rather than individuals. The first thing I kind of start off with is a little game that we like to try and play with people. So you might have to turn your mics on if that's possible. Can we do that quickly? Or do I have to do that?
Yeah, you would have to turn on everyone's mics, I think, but everyone can just unmute themselves.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So the first thing like I'm trying to do is try and talk about like where some of the key destinations are within Thailand. And then like I want someone to kind of tell me where I should point the arrow to kind of highlight if I'm going to Bangkok or if I'm going to Hua Hin or somewhere like that. Because obviously from what we do is from my perspective, I've got hotels all in Thailand. It's trying to raise awareness of how easy it is to get from resort to resort within the destination. And it's just a nice little interactive piece. So if anyone wants to like tell me where am I hovering around here? What's this destination around here possibly? Any ideas? So you've got like one of the things that we talk about is like being Bangkok at the top of the area. So obviously most people are going to fly into Bangkok. Then you've also got Phuket down to the south of the island. Then in between here you've got then Koh Yao, Noi. You've got Krabi, you've got Khao Lak. So it's kind of like identifying to people where they can travel to, where they can get around, how easy it is to get through. But unfortunately, this game kind of works better face to face. But I thought I'd give it a go on the online side of things, but it didn't really work.
Sorry, it's a bit hard when everybody's online.
Yeah, it's difficult. So I'll skip that one in the future. But the main thing is like you can really use us as Khao Lak as an option if you fly to Phuket, then do multi-center itineraries and go around. So it's just really opening up the opportunity to realize there's a good chance to use us as a combination center. But one of the things we can look at for the first thing in the morning is the kind of sunset that your guests will be seeing when they wake up, when they arrive to the resort, and kind of the views that they're going to get. So it's just a nice starting point to get us in the mood and ready to go. So Paradise is the first hotel we're talking about. This will just quickly give you an overview of the layout, what guests are to expect. So it's all low-rise buildings scattered around the jungle setting on the beachfront. And then we have Treehouse Villas, which is a sister hotel next door, also a low-rise setting scattered around the resort as well, to the right-hand side of the pier as you arrive. So just to give you the two welcome images. Just a bit about the group. We're part of a larger hotel group with Saranata Hotel Group, 20 brands and 9 destinations. But you've got other properties like the Charm Sukhothai, Live in Chiang Mai, and Hotel de Bangkok, and a few others. But we're headquartered in Phuket. The owners are European owners, and there's 5 people who own the properties. One of them's a couple of them are Europeans and very hands-on, and his name is so very understanding of the European and the Western market, so understand what the needs are, so very in tune with the demands and needs. What we kind of touch base on first of all is the experience of arrival. So obviously most people are going to fly into Bangkok first of all, then either stay in Bangkok or connect down to Phuket. Once they get to Phuket, you're going to get a journey across to Yacht Haven Marina. The journey from the airport to Yacht Haven Marina takes about 15 minutes, and then from the marina on the hotel speedboat take about 55 minutes to get over to the island. So it's a really good interactive social experience where guests are going to be able to see a lot of the surrounding area, the scenery, and some of the topography, which is quite stunning as you arrive into resort. So the first thing that guests will be seeing when they get to Yacht Haven Marina is our location. So basically it's like I say 15 minutes from the airport, so it's very easy and quick to get a domestic flight and then go straight over to the resort and to get to the marina. At the marina there's also a restaurant. There's a restaurant you can get lunch, dinner and breakfast. You've also got a little shop there as well, so there's the option there for facilities. And there's also like a shower and toilet facility, so if people are coming on an international flight and they arrived early enough in the daytime to catch the transfers across, then there is facilities for guests to freshen up. So when guests arrive to the Yacht Haven Marina, our staff are already on site, they're based there, So they'll always be waiting to see people who turn up, and we're the only one of the main hotel. We're actually the only hotel that leaves from here. So guests arriving will be met by the team. They'll be taking their luggage from them, and then be welcomed up to the restaurant area where guests can can purchase themselves a drink or food whilst they wait for the boat. So as you see in the bottom picture here, this is basically a little bit of a layout. So the car park, if people were driving, they'll be parking the car here. There's a shuttle that brings them down to the track road, which gets them back down to the bottom part of the pier area. And then this is where they disembark and then walk along to the restaurant area. And then where the red is where the boat departs. So it's quite transparent. It's quite easy. But then the nice kind of highlight we talk to people about is the outlook for them in the marina. You look overlooking the lovely yachts, the multi-million-dollar, multi-billion-pound yachts that are sat there as well. So it's a really good start to guests' holiday, and they can actually really get a sense of luxury and the experience they're going to get. So touching base again on the actual transfer service. So the hotel offer their own hotel speedboat transfer service. We also provide the land transfer to and from hotels in Phuket and Krabi. So that can also be from Phuket hotels in Patong, in Karon, in Kata, in Cape Panwa, in Bang Tao. Also, we also offer a service, which is a private service to Khao Lak as well. And then what they do is they get picked up in the morning, then taken to the marina, and then basically get the hotel speedboat across. We have 3 set departure times, so 9:30, 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. From the hotel back to the mainland, or you'll be leaving at 11, 2 and 4:30 to get to the island in the first instance. So these times are set and scheduled to be able to drive people to pick those so we want to kind of put as much capacity on those boats as possible. So it's the logistics, which is the key thing that we kind of really want people to understand about, because as we're an island, we are obviously difficult to get to in the first place. We don't want to make things even harder. So we have the 3 set departure times, but if guests seem to have missed that 2 o'clock departure by 20, 15 minutes, like often we'll know that they're on their way, so we can hold the boat for a little bit for people to be able to catch that boat. Or if you've got other times where people have arrived in maybe about 11 o'clock into the airport and they won't get to the resort, into the marina until about 12 o'clock, then what we can do sometimes is actually allocate another boat transfer. So it can be on request. So we can see if there's a demand for extra boats to be put on for that day, and we'll arrange that for people. So on the boat, guests are provided with a water bottle, a cold towel, and also a life jacket. So safety is important and paramount for us, and we want to make sure guests feel safe and secure. The hotel speedboat is taken from the marina to the island to our hotel jetty, which is beachfront, right to the hotel. No more transfers needed after this. The boat is taken by 2 captains. So there's a captain driving the boat as always, and there's a second person on the boat with him who's going to be helping out with all the ropes, etc., but also can take over if needs be. So there's safety and security there again. The journey takes 55 minutes from Yacht Haven Marina to our point of drop off, which is outside our resorts. So guests are going to be having a point-to-point experience. So as soon as they get to the jetty, they'll get off the boat, they'll walk along the floating jetty, and then get onto our beachfront location. One of the key things we need to highlight here is guests' accessibility concerns. So if people are in wheelchairs, unfortunately, unless they're able to get out for a short period of time and move about, then that kind of opportunity is very restrictive and hard for us to accommodate. And also those with walking sticks or mobility issues, they just need to really be concerned about having to be able to get into a boat, out of the boat, walking on a floating jetty, and then being in a resort where it is mainly sand based. There are a couple of concrete hard paths, but the majority of the resort is all based on sand. So the other option that guests do have is they can continue over to Krabi. So we have a transfer service that goes to and from Krabi. So that journey is 35 minutes. And then there's about 45 minutes journey across to Ao Nang or the airport. So there is that combination opportunity for guests to be able to go to and from the resort, use us as an island experience, use us as island hopping, or a multi-center destination. So there's that choice there. And in the middle image you can see there is the floating jetty. And then basically the first thing that people will see when they come to the resort is Treehouse villas. So the first thing they'll see is tree houses, and then they'll walk along the beach to get to paradise. Guests can take we've got buggy service available, so buggies can take guests to and from, but luggage will be taken from guests and brought to a reception and put into their rooms for them, so guests don't need to worry about their luggage once they get off the boat. But yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is, that's why we say if people are looking to book at Paradise and then the first thing they see is tree houses, a lot of people start to be like wowing and excited and thinking that's where they're staying, but then they realize they're going to our sister hotel, and then sometimes they often upgrade themselves whilst in resort to stay at the tree houses for a night. But it's also like a nice surprise if people think they are staying at Paradise, but then they've actually the partners booked them to stay at tree houses, because then that wow factor kicks in straight away. But yeah, so we also have other transfer services to and from the island to the main public pier, so Manor Pier. So if you want to go to Koh Yao Yai, so that's an option there. So a couple of price points there to keep people aware of. You've also got access to the island, so people can go to the other locations on the same island. So we also transfer to Six Senses. So if anyone's combining the two properties on the island, we can do a boat transfer to and from Six Senses to our resort as well, or we can do a land transfer. So the options are there. So if you need any more details, just let us know. So this is the arrival experience that guests will have when they arrive. So, you know, nice open seas, topography, like just limestone cliffs, and it's just absolutely amazing as you come into resort. Guests can then really get a feel of what to expect. They're away from it all. They're away from the hustle and bustle, and it is really an option of sitting back, relaxing, and switching off, and not worrying about what else there is or who else to deal with whilst you're relaxing in resort. Go to check the video's working, yeah?
It is. There's just no sound if there is meant to be sound.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. I'll kind of try to talk over it instead.
Good.
So yeah, so again, this is just like another trying to give you an experience, because one of the biggest things that we find is people don't really understand the arrival experience or the transfer services and how you get to and from the resort. So for us, this is just about kind of explaining the logistics of getting to us in the first instance. And yeah, because a lot of people think obviously you're on an island, you're hard to get to. We just want to make things transparent, easy as possible. So yeah, so this is kind of like a bit of a zoomed in picture of the jetty. The jetty is actually being replaced currently, so it's going to be more of hopefully more of a fixed jetty instead of a floating one. So that'll give a bit more stability for guests when they come on. But this is where the boats will be parked up, and then the lobby area for the boat departure is just sheltered, and you can just start to see, like I say, the Treehouse villas there. But like I say, the first property we'll talk about is Paradise. Both resorts, like I say, are on Koh Yao Noi. We're between Phuket and Krabi. Great to connect with Elephant Hills, Khao Lak, Krabi, or Phuket. It's a good combination centre. But the biggest thing to highlight for both resorts is we are not next to any other hotel, bar, restaurants, shops, or nightlife. We are an in-resort experience where people are going to stay here, be here, and consume themselves within the environment that we offer. So if guests are expecting to be somewhere like Phuket, where they can turn around and walk to the local bar and restaurant every night, then unfortunately you've got to explain this to the guest or ask them to kindly choose somewhere else to stay. The biggest thing for us is making sure guests are fully aware of that. They are staying on site, they are in resort. You can go to the local village on the island, but that's about a 35-minute dirt track drive away, or a speedboat transfer away. So, and if people did that, they can do island tours for the day. So there are things to do in the island, but they can go see that and do that. However, that will kind of be more of a day experience rather than a night experience. So what our recommendation is for people to book on a half board basis at the minimum. That's because at least they're going to have breakfast in the morning when they wake up. That's probably going to give them enough fuel to be filled for the rest of the day, and they might have a snack for lunch, but then have their dinner at the hotel. Half board, we have menus available on my website, and also I can share with you after here, so guests are fully aware of how much food items will cost, how much drinks will cost whilst they're on the island and with us at the resort. We don't try to make things expensive for guests. We want to be transparent and clear and open with them, so we have that available so people can get a better idea whether or not a half board pre-booked package is more preferential towards them, or they're rather pay as they go when they're on resort. So there's that combination there, but we do recommend a half board basis purely for convenience reasons. But from our perspective, it doesn't matter if we have half board booked in advance or not. Like I say, our location is remote, that we're going to get that business in that market anyway. So it's not a capitalization opportunity for us. It's just purely a necessity or a recommendation to make things easier. The biggest thing for us is obviously if guests were thinking of wanting to go out for dinner of a night time and they thought that they could plan it themselves, it's very hard to get hold of a local taxi or a local boat taxi who wants to take people back from the main village to the resort on a night time. So it is very hard and very restrictive. So it just kind of really bear that in mind, please. So the two properties, Paradise has 4 room types and Treehouse has 3. The only difference in the room is Paradise has a water feature in the room and the kind of the inside-outside bathroom layout. And then the difference is the location of the villas at Treehouses, but we'll go into detail now for that. So we're a 4-star hotel on the island offering breakfast as standard. We're a family and couple-friendly resort, so we're mixed market. And we have 90% of our staff for both resorts are actually islanders and locals. So a very sustainable initiative in terms of having the majority of the capacity of staff who are islanders are from Thailand as well. So guests staying with us will get a very good insight into the island, Thai life, what to experience, what to expect, and where to go whilst they're staying with us. Guests will get off the jetty as explained, then they'll be taken to the reception. This is where check-in will take place for guests. We do have a bit of an earlier check-in time than normal, so people can get in a bit earlier, but also check-out time is the standard time in the industry, but kind of obviously with leaning towards the opportunity for guests to be able to make most of their time whilst in resort. We would kind of encourage guests to be beach ready, so they can take advantage of the beachfront location or the swimming pool whilst they do wait for their room. So that's just a suggestion there for you all. This gives you an idea of the resort layout. So obviously, number 1 to the right-hand corner is where guests arrive on our hotel speedboat, and they're taken to the centre of the resort. So where number 9 is, that's reception. So we are central of the resort area and in front of the hotel swimming pool. So then you've also got our leading room types, which are literally next door to the reception area. So very close by. But then the jacuzzi studios are further up onto the hillside. And then you've got the superior plunge pools scattered to the furthest part of the resort. And on the beachfront, you've got the pool villas as well. So this just gives you a good idea of the location of the resort layout. If someone was looking for a specific view, or they want to be close to the pool, or they want to have a sea view, for example, then you can kind of see booking rooms 241, 242, 251, etc. will probably be more in line with what their specifications are, and that would mean the plunge pool deluxe studio would be ideal for their particular requirements. So we've also, like I say, you've got the reception area, you've got the restrooms, you've got the fresco restaurant as well for breakfast, lunch and dinner. So a good indication for people to understand where to go, how easy it is to get around. But the main thing here is, like I said, we have it's a sandy resort. We have sand paths. We also have concrete paths as well, and it's also quite steppy in terms of getting up to basically getting up to the jacuzzi studios. So people just need to bear that in mind as well. But like I said, we do have the shuttle that can take guests straight to those rooms at the top there without any need to use the steps. So that is available to guests. And again, just another idea of giving you an overview of what the resort will look like and how it will kind of come across for guests to realize what they're getting in terms of a low-rise buildings, low-rise property, scattered around space, greenery, jungle setting, and with most of the rooms having a jungle or ocean view. So and then around us as well, you can see like you've got a nice surrounding area where there's bays where people can go kayaking and canoeing, and then go to the local beaches and just be on their own and have privacy around there. So it really is secluded away off the beaten track. We kind of touch base in making sure that people are fully aware of where we are on TripAdvisor. We kind of just see what the reviews are and take the information as we can. Currently, over 1,000 reviews on TripAdvisor and 639 on Google. So we're kind of in that position where we read it, we try and adhere to what the kind of comments are saying, but we seem to be doing pretty well on both elements. So now the main detail is actually the rooms. So in the hotel, so we've got 70 units in total: Superior Studio, Jacuzzi Studio, Sea View Plunge Pool Deluxe, and a Sea View Pool Villa. So the 4 room types, and like I say, the main difference between the rooms is what the water feature is in the room. So Superior Studio comes with 58 square meters, 28 available, and this basically has no specific water feature. So it just has obviously a shower, which is an outdoor area style. On the left-hand picture here, you can see you've got the sliding doors that give you that privacy, but this section here is where you can take a shower. On the inside of the unit where the main bedroom is, you've also got a WC and vanity unit as well in the wardrobe section, and the four-poster bed there as well, which is a shabby chic in style. All rooms come with all the standard flat screen TVs and mini bar as you'd expect. And like I say, this room type here, you're going to look at a jungle garden view. And in the distance, for some of them, you also are going to get a partial sea view as well. But as we can't guarantee that on all room types, we just highlight it's a jungle stroke garden view. So these units are single or 2-story units, and the heart of the resort, as I mentioned, right next door to the reception area. Your price point here is about 1,875 rand. So this is our price point based on contract. We've currently got an early bird discount on there as well. So when that's available, you're looking at nearly 1,500 rand. So you've got a good price point there for guests to be able to understand. This is obviously contract rate, and obviously you'll be marking it up, etc. But this gives you an indication of what the price point is there for the market. So occupancy here, you can have 2 adults or 3 adults maximum, or you can have 2 adults and 1 child, or 2 kids as well. So we have extra bed and a day bed as well. So this particular room type is Superior Studio. You have the outdoor sala terrace as well. So each room will come with a swing on the terrace, so overlooking the views, and then a little section where table and chairs, so you can sit and relax and enjoy some time listening to the hornbills flying around and the local jungle noises as well. So so this is kind of, like I say, a bit of an insight into the views that people are going to get, the steps walking down into the beachfront, and the views that guests will have. The kind of style in the room type, it's like I say, king size beds with turquoise shabby chic style, rustic charms as well. And then, like I say, left hand corner picture here is the outdoor shower, which has the bifolding wood shutters to give privacy. But the way they designed the located, it's very hard for people to be able to look up and see anyone in the showers anyway. But you have that close off option as well. But it's a nice experience to have a shower out in the jungle. So they just gave an idea of the resort, the room type. So second level room type is a jacuzzi studio. 20 of these available, 56 square meters. And the difference here is there's a jacuzzi in the bathroom. So this is the water feature I mentioned. This is a difference that we have. So second level, we can have a jacuzzi in the bathroom overlooking the jungle. So jungle views from that jacuzzi. You're still going to get the outdoor swing as well on the terrace. But what we have here is this room type doesn't have the shower outside. This is going to be the shower on the inside of the unit, so you don't have that outdoors sala shower setting. Room type stays the same in terms of the style and design. Shabby chic 4-poster beds again, and then, like I say, overlooking the jungle and garden. Here again, same occupancy as well, but you're looking at over 2,000 rand or 1,600 with early bird discount. So this gives you an option of the price point for the upgrade. So these ones are 2-story units, and they're top of the hillside, so right at the top of the resort, giving the best panoramic views of the resort. Just a bit more insight here into what you actually are getting. So, yeah, like I say, shabby chic style continues. The jacuzzi bathtub has shutters that you can open up to look over to the jungle. So great honeymoon option, bit of privacy, bit of seclusion, plenty of space in the bathtub and the jacuzzi, and then to the right hand side is where the shower is. So, but yeah, you can see the kind of style and layout of the resort and the hotel and what room types they have to offer. The third level room type is 62 square meters, and it's a sea view plunge pool studio. So these were actually renovated just before COVID. So in theory, they're actually a brand new room type. So it was actually near enough 2 years ago that they were renovated. But the pool area, the plunge pool, you'll see it's the same style and design as what we have at Treehouses. So you're trying to bring the luxury element into the high room categories at Paradise. So this is a nice setting, nice decking area, jacuzzi bath, jacuzzi, plunge pool as well. And again, you get this swing on the balcony, and you get the outdoor sala shower. You get the four-poster shabby chic bed as well. And then here you're going to start getting sea views with the room type as well. So 2 or 4 units to a block. They're either single or 2-story units. And we also do have interconnecting rooms in some of these rooms as well. So there is interconnecting available for families or groups traveling together. So that is available in all our rooms apart from our pool villas on the beachfront. Okay. Again, occupancy remains the same: 3 adults or 2 adults, or 2 adults and 1 kid, or 2 adults and 2 children. So there you've got that option. 2,700 Rand or 2,184 when you've got the early bird discount. So a nice price point there for people coming into market who are looking to spend a bit of money and have that privacy, seclusion, and that plunge pool experience as well. So sustainability is one of the key things that we want to kind of touch base on as well, because the resort do their own, obviously they provide bottled glass water to guests, which are refilled on a daily basis, so no plastic. Basically, we try and encourage guests to recycle whilst in the room as well. We have sustainability hornbill project as well, where we're trying to encourage use of local facilities on the island. We have our own farm, which is basically where we grow some of our vegetables that we use. We use the meat that's been harvested on the island as well for sustainability in the kitchen side of things. But yeah, there's a massive hornbill project that we've got details on for sustainability, so we can share that with you. And also for wastage as well, the shampoo and conditioner, etc., is all bottled up as well in a reusable providing. So that's available for guests. The final room type at Paradise is our top level room type, which is Sea View Pool Villa. The 91 square meters, so obviously the largest out of them all. These have 6 available, single story, beachfront, no one next to you, so no connections, no next door neighbor, for example. So plenty of space around you. These are front row on the beach, giving you unrivaled sea view, beachfront access, and beachfront views. You've got 11 square meter pool at the front as well. So these were also renovated during COVID. So again, the style of the pool is very similar to that of Treehouses, and it gives you that luxury feeling and that feel. You're looking at a price point of over 5,000 Rand or 4,300 with the early bird discount in low season. So a good option for honeymooners or couples celebrating a few days away together. Here you can see from the bed, you can see the outlook of the ocean, you can see the pool. You can pull back your bifold in your patio doors, have direct access into the decking area and straight onto the pool. And then you've got a mini bar on the pool area as well as in the room, so easy access to a few drinks. But like I said, the main thing is they're single stories, they're private secluded units. and ideal for that honeymoon market and couples. So you can quickly see there, actually, we have where the pool is, you've got a beachfront area for yourselves. So it's private. So you've got a cabana there. So with some beds. So that gives you that additional privacy. But in between the villas, actually, you've got a tree line. So you've got that privacy, giving guests that seclusion that they're looking for. The local village. Okay. Any questions for Paradise?
Wow, it's got the perfect name, Matt. That certainly is paradise. Goodness gracious me, what a gorgeous place. It's certainly got the best of both worlds, or all worlds. It looks gorgeous. Honeymooners, anybody.
Yeah, that's the best thing about it is mixed market, but the biggest thing for the family market is like there is no kids club, there is no kids pool. You basically,
Yeah.
if you want to come in with your family, you've got to want to spend time with your family. You can't palm them off in the kids club. So,
Yeah.
but it's an ideal place to really spend quality time with each other as a group or as couples. And then and if you think that's paradise, wait until you see the next best thing.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Matt while we're still on this property? I think he really did explain the rooms nicely, so I think that helped us a lot. Thank you.
So for tree houses, I won't touch the transfer service again because that's the same for Paradise. So it's a repetitive conversation. But here we're a 5-star luxury adult only resort. So we are we are a 5-star luxury resort. So we, like I say, ideal for couples and honeymooners. And obviously people wanting to get married for both resorts, that's an option. We do weddings and wedding renewal vows as well. We can do that. So this is now the cream of the crop, which we are seeing a massive demand for in the market. This is now Treehouse Villas. so one of the questions was, is there all inclusive? Historically, we actually offered all inclusive as an option, but no one actually booked it because people didn't really understand the location and they thought they could get around and go to somewhere else for food and drink. So it didn't work. So if there's still more demand for it, we would consider it in the future. But at this moment in time, we don't offer all inclusive because as both resorts are a family resort or a adult only resort or a luxury, tranquil, off the beaten track, you kind of like we offer yoga and spa, etc. So we kind of don't really want to encourage the whole drinking scenario or over drinking. So people want to have a few drinks, they can obviously buy as they go. And then obviously from the food term side of things, you're going to, when you book your half board or full board, you're going to get your 3-course meals anyway. So it's going to be quite a lot of food and probably too much to consume. So we like to give guests the flexibility of having the half board and full board options and then paying for their drinks as they go. So every room has air conditioning as standard, as you'd expect at this standard, and especially at these price points. And then the biggest question that most people don't really know about is the tree houses and how they're designed. And most people think the tree houses are open planned with no air conditioning and open to the elements. So, but I'll talk about that in a minute as well. So we'll just get into that one now. Okay. I think that's all the questions I've got through from the chat. So I think I've covered them. But any more, then obviously ping your questions through if you need to, and I'll keep looking at them. All right. So tree houses. So as again, you'd arrive into the hotel jetty as per Paradise Experience I've explained already, and then guests here will be taken to the reception. So they'll be taken by a buggy, or they can also walk through the resort to see the surrounding views as they walk through. Guests check in with our villa host, and basically they can then sit and have a welcome drink as they can do at Paradise as well, and they can overlook the club pool area, overlooking the ocean and restaurant. So it's a very luxury experience as you arrive. It's very high-end quality materials. The architect was an Australian who had a vision of making sure we use sustainable materials and bringing the the outside in, and hence the reason why looking at tree houses. You've got the layout, as I say, is scattered around the front of the resort. So the arrival experience, when people are going to come on the boat, the first thing they do see will be tree houses. So it's a really nice wow factor as they arrive. Again, TripAdvisor and Google reviews, we're kind of heavily involved in and trying to make sure we've got any feedback and we look at it and review it. So the location wise here, you can see basically our second level room type, which is the beachfront pool villas, are literally at the front of the resort. So they're the first ones you'll see as you walk off the boat. These are, instead of being duplex villas, they're actually parallel. So they're the ground floor side by side. So they're not the tall kind of treehouse experience as you'd expect, as what the brand is. But these ones are actually quite popular because you've got unspoiled views of the ocean, direct beachfront access as well, and in reality pure privacy and seclusion as well. And then obviously the rest of the villas behind them are the treehouse villas, which obviously the further you go back, then the higher up you're going to be with the higher views of the treetops, as well as the oceans and the jungle as well. And then to the left obviously is reception, the clubhouse where the hotel swimming pool is, but every single villa has their own plunge pool as well. So even though the resort has a resort pool to use, each villa's got their own private one as well. So here we've got 32 villas in total. So you've got the Treehouse Villa, the Beachfront Pool Villa, and Hilltop Pool Villa. So 25 of our tree houses, which are our signature room type, offering 100 square meters in total. They all come with one king bed. Maximum occupancy is 2 people. But if you do have people traveling as a free, that could be couples, a free relationship, or an extra person. We can deal with that on a request basis, but we don't offer extra beds. But if it's like a special arrangement, then that can be done. We've had that before actually, when there's been 3 people requested, but generally speaking, it's a 2 adult or 2 person occupancy. We have 16 plus age limit at the resort, so it is an adult only experience. Each treehouse villa is accessed by a drawstring bridge, so a Swiss Family Robinson style experience. pretty unique in the market. There's nothing else like this in Thailand. They have that wow factor for honeymooners, for people traveling on special occasions, anniversaries, and also an ideal place for weddings. The villa inside the treehouse actually is the same kind of style as you saw at Paradise. You have the 4-poster style, the net, obviously the mosquito net hanging over the top of the bed, king size beds as standard, and then you have a little bit of a touch towards the turquoise colors that we had at Paradise, but a bit more toned down here and a bit more luxury offering in terms of the style and design of the room inside. So upstairs is the main sleeping area. So here you've got a day bed, a desk area with a tablet to arrange any activities or room service, etc. And you have the balcony with bifolding doors opening up to the private balcony with table and chairs, where you can see the unblocked views of the ocean. So a great welcome morning experience to get up, sit on the balcony, watch the sunrise, and basically enjoy the sounds of the ocean whilst having a coffee, which is provided in your room. There's a mini bar upstairs as well. So the mini bar is included for free, so it's complimentary. So there's a couple of soft drinks, there's some local spirits in there as well, and some local beer. So this is replenished on a daily basis, and this is a free addition within the room rate. And there's also one downstairs as well, mini bar downstairs as well. So there's 2 mini bars that are fully stocked and updated on a daily basis. So for the upstairs area, like I say, it is all glass, it's all closed off, it has air conditioning. So a lot of people think it might be a bit like downstairs where it's all open planned and they've got a fan keeping them cool at night and you're going to get bitten by mosquitoes and the snakes coming up, etc. But that doesn't happen. So just bear that in mind. If people are worried about having that privacy and that seclusion, they've got the downstairs area where they've got bamboo scattered around the back of the open area, so it gives you that privacy and seclusion. And then the way that the villas are located, you've really got to walk around and see that to look back, to be able to see people down in their pool area, people have got to look back and up and really strain to see and to snoop on what other people are doing. So it does really offer great privacy. And obviously with the years gone on since we're open in 2018, the trees around the villas have actually grown a lot more now as well. So you can see the top picture shows it at the villas at the infancy, and then the bottom picture, the left hand side, you can see where some of the greenery has grown quite a lot. So that gives you that additional privacy that guests are seeking and require. So yeah, so no concerns about privacy there. But yeah, downstairs we offer the plunge pool, the swing as well, the mini bar, sunbeds, and dining table and chair as well, with WC downstairs in the heart of the back of the resort as well. So price point over 6,000, nearly 6,300 rand. So and then we've got nearly 5,000 based on the early bird discount. So there's your price point. So this is for honeymooners and couples and people celebrating a special occasion. So you can say, like, the balcony to the right hand side is the ocean views that guests are going to get. Downstairs you can see a better image of the pool area, the decking, the relaxation side of things, the mini bar. The plunge pool's got a jacuzzi as well. And like I say, every single villa has access to it via a drawstring bridge, and then the spiral staircase up and to the bedroom area, and a spiral staircase down to the poolside area as well. So each individual villa has its own individual access. So you'd only be sharing basically one of the main pathways to get to the villa. But so no one else will be walking along your part of the drawstring bridge to get to any other villa. So very private and secluded. Here you can see the box, basically on the left hand side image here, you can see that's behind that wall there is where the bed is. So to the right of the bed then is the bathtub and the double vanity unit, and then the shower, and then you've also got the wardrobe to the left hand side of where the mirror is as well. So it gives you a good understanding of how the room's laid out. That bath tub is actually the shape of a hammock. So it's quite a unique feature for the room. It was quite an expensive piece to commission, so quite a few $1,000s, I believe, it cost to do those. So, but it doesn't shake or anything or swing, but it is a nice feature point to talk about, having a hammock in the villa, and then obviously the blinds there and to be able to pull open so you can sit in a bathtub and actually overlook some of the views of the ocean. And then obviously you can see to the right hand side of the windows, you can see you've got light coming in, but also they've got privacy screening on the glass as well to give that additional privacy for guests whilst in the resort, in the villa. Second level room type is our beachfront pool villa. We have 6 of these available, and as mentioned earlier, they're actually all along the front of the beachfront, all along the front of the resort. So the first villas that people see as they arrive. Like I say, instead of being upstairs, downstairs duplex style, they're accessed via the beach and they're parallel to each other. And here you're looking at a price point of the 8,000 rand or 6,300 in low season for the early bird discount. They all come with a 7-meter infinity plunge pool, so a bigger pool than the tree houses. But here, like I say, you've got direct access to the beach, direct access to the sea, and very great views of the ocean. Minibar again is included in this room type as well, so minibar comes as standard, and it really is a lot more kind of like those couples that actually want to have direct access to the sea or the sand area. So here, basically, you can see the style is exactly the same as what Treehouse is, but it's just next door, parallel to each other instead of being upstairs, downstairs. Plenty of greenery growing as well. So again, to the picture to the right hand side was the infancy picture where the trees are starting to grow, and then to the left top corner you can see how it's actually grown quite significantly to be able to be more of a more privacy and seclusion as well. So each villa, you can have in-room dining or you can have in-room spa treatments as well. So that can be arranged for guests. The Hilltop Pool Villa is our largest villa on site for both resorts. Nearly 400 square meters, 3 bedrooms with 2 kings and a twin room. So good for 6 adults, 6 people. Nearly 12,000 rand or 9,300 in low season. But again, this is for the whole unit, so shared that between 6 people, it comes out as a really reasonable price point for all that space and that privacy and seclusion. The only thing to note on this property is this villa is located on the land of Paradise, so it's not obviously on the Treehouse side, it's actually Paradise side. So if you do have guests who want to have this particular unit, then they won't be in the area where the tree houses are. So just bear that in mind, but it's just more about the size and what we can have to offer as for larger groups who want to be together and have their own pool. So that's just a nice unique addition for guests. It comes with a main pool area. You've got a jacuzzi as well. You've got the bedrooms, like I say, overlooking the ocean. Great for groups traveling together. And then guests will still be able to use the facilities of tree houses. yeah, like I say, so some of the wildlife that you can see on the island is the hornbills. So we've got hornbills flying around the resort. We've also got obviously the geckos and monitor lizards going around the resort as well. But we kind of like have there's a feeding station at Treehouses where the hornbills come and they can take some food, and it's like a nice little touch that guests can watch and see them flying around in their natural habitat. So we want to try and make sure that we didn't affect the local area to residing. So we make sure that they're available they can come and fly around freely, but they don't cause guests any problems or anything. So it's quite a nice thing to watch and to be aware of. This just gives you an idea of what's actually included in the villa for the mini bar. So you've got the choice of 2 preferred spirits that are going to be updated on a daily basis, and you've got, like I say, mixes of juice and beers that are going to be stocked up as well. But if people want premium options, they can pay for the extra, as well as wine as well. So there's just something to note. So this now is the bit where I'm going to talk about the facilities at the resorts that are going to be then. I'll highlight which ones are shared, which ones are exclusive to each resort. Basically, the rule of thumb is guests staying at Treehouses can use facilities at Paradise, but Paradise guests cannot shift up. So if we've got the restaurants at Paradise, Treehouse guests can go down and use them. But if Paradise guests want to use the restaurant at Treehouses, which is called Roots, then we don't allow it. But they can request to see if there's availability. And if the occupancy is low or there's availability, then sometimes it can be allowed. But the general rule of thumb is people can't walk freely around each resort. So it's just that privacy and seclusion to be able to maintain that exclusivity and that level of 5-star luxury versus the 4-star market option. But yeah, Paradise has its own swimming pool, as I mentioned, as does Treehouse Villas, its own beach club. But the beach obviously is a shared area, so it's a 400-meter stretch of beach on the front. So, but there is a section where we've sectioned it off for Treehouse guests, and there's another section for Paradise guests. You've got Serenity Spa, which is shared. You've got the yoga platform, which is a shared facility. And you've got Sundowners Bar, which is in the middle of the 2 resorts, where it's available for both sides of the resort's guests to sit down and have a drink. And here you've got entertainment of a night time. You've got live musicians coming along. You've also sometimes got cinema night at the front on the beach as well, firefighters show, etc. So there are some activities that keep guests entertained. And you've also got the beach club, which is Paradise's side, but again can be used by guests at Treehouses. Treehouses, like I say, here is the clubhouse, swimming pool, and then you've got Roots restaurant and lounge. And then, like I say, for the beach side of things, you've got the beachfront cabanas, which are to the left-hand side of the resort. As well, basically, when you come to the jetty, that's literally in front of Treehouse Villa's position, and these are the ones that can be used by Treehouse guests. So this is kind of like how we kind of identify the 2 resorts. There's a sign in the ground that says Treehouse guests only, so it kind of encourages Paradise guests to stay where they are in that side, and Treehouse guests can stay in their own section, because we don't want to encourage people walking around the resort and interrupting people's experience. So that's quite important to us. We also have the Sundowners, which again is a shared option, but you've got that cabana overlooking the ocean. So Paradise guests will have access to Seafood Terrace, al fresco, and then also got candlelit dinner on the beach and room service available. So Seafood Terrace is where guests are going to have breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and then al fresco is available for dinner. So that's the option there for people. Paradise guests, obviously, Treehouse guests can use Seafood Terrace or al fresco if they want, and they can recharge back to their room. But then here for Treehouse Villa guests only, there's got the Roots restaurant, which is in the heart of the resort, which is next to reception, next to the pool area. Or they can have in-villa dining, and again, candlelit dinner on the beach is available for guests as well, so we can arrange that. Activity centres, a shared facility, kayaking, cooking class, rice planting, village tours, water sports, non-motorised, scuba diving, etc. That can all be arranged in the resort for guests as well whilst there. We've also got activity packs available for guests to be able to look at pre-arrival, so you can get an idea of what's available and the prices for that. Like I say, accessibility, due to our location of an island, speedboat transfer over, floating dock, etc. We need to be cautious of what mobility issues customers have, so bear that in mind, please. No interconnecting rooms at Treehouse Villas for obvious reasons, they're all standalone, but we do have interconnecting rooms available in our rooms at Paradise, apart from the Seaview Pool Villas. And then we do offer a family discount of 50% off a second room if guests are looking to have that interconnecting family option. So if those families do want to travel together, and that's a good option there for guests, okay? So we obviously a good option for island hopping, island exploring. We've got, like I say, you can do bicycle tours to the local village, you can do kayaking, scuba diving, you can do trekking, you can do rock climbing. There's a lot to kind of do and see whilst on the island. Or you can literally just sit on the beach, sit around the pool and just relax and enjoy your time whilst on the island. We also do offer a free shuttle to the national park. So it's something we offer for both resorts. Guests just have to pay a national park fee when they're there, but it's good for snorkeling. It's good for just sitting on the beach and relaxing. It's just another island experience to go off and see something different whilst here. Free Wi-Fi is offered throughout the resorts as well, so both resorts have the Wi-Fi connection. And then when people book with Paradise, they get a free 30-minute massage and also a free 30-minute yoga sample as well. However, if you book Treehouse Villas, that's not included, because when you've got that kind of money, you can pay for it yourself. That's but kind of like, because it's just a test. The main thing for us is to offer it a tester, because obviously a location where we are, people are the initial reaction people have is you're secluded in a location where you think people are going to take advantage of you and charge high prices for experiences and food and drink. So that's why we want to be transparent, and we have spa menus available for people to review and see the prices and also test it out before they kind of pay the money for any experiences as well. There is just a bit of information on tidal situation at the resort. So obviously we are in a bay where the tide comes in and out. There's a section on our website that kind of highlights this, so we don't hide away from it. So people do need to be aware of it. It can be out for a few hours a day, and it can be high tide as well, so low tide. So we just got to bear that in mind. And then the final thing we kind of touch base on is, we do weddings. So if anyone's looking for their wedding at the resort, that can be arranged at either Paradise or Treehouses. So that's an option. And the final thing we do as well, we have staff rates available. So a lot of people obviously want to come and stay with us. And if you guys, as you are directly contracted, we actually do give away free nights. So and then we get, depending on seasonality and time of year and occupancy, then we'll give away a couple of nights free for you to come and stay, because we feel the best way for it to be for you to experience it is to come and see it and stay for yourself. So obviously let your superiors know if you want to come and stay, and then we can arrange it for you. But if not, we do offer the facility to purchase a heavily discounted rate by our partners at Staff Travel Voyage. So there are travel industry partners who have the best rates in the market for people who want to come and stay, but if we haven't got a direct contract with them, or for example, you're not directly selling the hotel, but you work in the finance department, or you might work in operations department, or you might work in another department within the company, but you still want to come and experience it, we can offer the staff rates via, you can have access to that as well. But yeah, that's everything from me. That's Paradise and Treehouse Villas for you. So please do let me know if you've got any questions, and thank you for your time.
Thanks again, Matt. Wow, even more Paradise. And I think that we all come in next week. So I hope you're ready for it. Certainly is a lovely option. And I think the packages are all on our website. So please do sell it. Does anyone have any questions for Matt? The presentation was really, really excellent.
Perfect.
Anyone got anything? They're just saying thank you.
Yeah.
Nobody got any questions for Matt? He had to
Either
get up early.
Either you're all too scared, or or I've covered it all. So hopefully they've covered it all.
No, I think you did, especially the room types and everything. I think that was very great. That was great.
Yeah, perfect. Well, if anyone has any questions or they think of anything, then please do just reach out to me. I can help you with any information you want. On my website, just so you know, there's images you can download, fact sheets you can download, videos you can download, the menus you can download. So everything you need is available to be downloaded from my website under the hotel pages. So again, the transparency is the clear thing that we want people to be aware of. So we don't want them to feel like they're restricted or stuck or in a location that they can't enjoy or they're going to be taken advantage of. So we want to be clear as day. So if you need anything, it's all downloadable there for you. And like I say, any questions, please do let me know. If you've got any special customers coming across who need to be looked after or given that special attention, or someone wants to pop the question or arrange something special, please let us know. We're more than happy to try and help the guests and do what we can to make it a memorable stay. So hopefully this is the start of a really great relationship with you guys, and the training will give you an insight into what we can offer, and you can hopefully then pass it on to your guests, and we'll invite more South African guests to our hotels in the near future.
Thank you, Matt.
No
Great.
problems.
Thank you, everyone, for joining, and thank you for waking up early, Matt. We appreciate it.
It's all right, no worries.
And definitely, yes, I'm sure we'll sell a lot more of the property now that we've had the good insight, and we have recorded it. So for those that have missed it, we will make sure that we've got it for you.
Perfect.
Have a lovely day.
All right, thanks very much, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.